My name is George. I'm co-founder of SoloSuit, and today I'm going to show all you folks over there in Ohio how to respond to a debt collection lawsuit in your state. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing you need to know, you only have 28 days to respond. All right, that's it. Just 28 days to respond to the lawsuit. Otherwise, you automatically lose your case. All right, so the clock is ticking. All right, that means you want to get rolling on this thing. You got to respond within 28 days or you automatically lose your lawsuit. All right, and that is according to the Ohio Code, Rule 12, Section A1. All right, and those are calendar days, not business days. All right, so that means it includes Saturday, Sunday, holidays. The clock is ticking, it doesn't stop. If the 20th day is on a weekend or national holiday, you just want to make sure that you get that answer in before that day on the latest business day. All right. So now that you know that, I'm going to be covering 3 steps to respond to a debt collection lawsuit. All right. So step 1 is start your answer. Step 2, make your affirmative defenses, and step 3 is make sure you file that answer. Okay. But first, if you just want to do this the easiest way possible, you guys can go over to solosuit.com. We actually help people in every state respond to debt collection lawsuits. Okay, so we can just do all this for you. You just answer a few questions online, and then we generate the document for you. We also have an attorney review the document, and then we file it for you, so you don't even have to leave your house. All right. Right now we have over 100 5-star reviews on Google, which is pretty good. I don't know about you. Do you have 100 5-star reviews on Google? You probably don't, but you're probably an awesome person. We do have over 100 5-star reviews on Google, so you can go ahead and just check it out and get started. All right, so step 1, create your answer document to respond to the summons and complaint. All right, so when you get sued in Ohio, you're going to receive a document that looks like this. All right, this is the complaint and the summons. The summons is telling you that you are being sued, and the complaint is telling you why you're being sued. Okay, and so the next part in the lawsuit, that's the beginning of the lawsuit. The next step is to create an answer document and respond with an answer document by filing with the court. All right, the answer document is not just like a lowercase a answer document. You don't just like write a note on a piece of paper, like send it to the court. You don't send a text message to the debt collector. No, the answer document, it's a capital A answer document. It's like a formal legal document. It has specific guidelines, has specific formatting, styling, things you can say, things you can't say. And you have to do it just right to file it with the court. All right, so the main thing that you have to do is you have to respond to every paragraph in the complaint and summons. You got to respond to each one in your answer document. All right, so you'll see, if you're taking a look at your complaint and summons, you'll see, there's paragraph number 1. John Smith is a resident of 44 Rockwell Street in Kentucky, right? And then like paragraph number 2, John Smith had a debt with Chase Bank. Okay. So you have to respond to each one of those paragraphs, and you can respond in one of 3 ways. You can say, I admit that paragraph. It's just like totally true. Just, I don't even want to deny or argue with that. Or you can say, I deny that paragraph. A lot of attorneys oftentimes say just like deny everything. So you can deny that paragraph and say, I disagree with something. Anything in that paragraph. I disagree with it, so I'm going to deny the entire thing. Or your third response, you can say, I don't know. Totally a fine response. It's actually not a problem. You can just say, I deny for lack of knowledge to deny the truth or falsity of the statement thereof. Okay? All of those are fine responses. So you just want to respond, admit, deny, or I don't know, to each one of those paragraphs in the complaint and summons. All right, so that is the beginning of creating your answer document. All right, step 2, assert your affirmative defenses. Okay, this is the part where you get to make your defense, basically saying why you shouldn't owe the money, why you shouldn't lose the case. Basically, all it is defenses come back to like the idea that you don't actually owe the money. All right, best defense, you don't owe the money. It's a great defense right there. And then some other options, you might not owe the money because you're not the owner or a cosigner of the account, like they're actually just suing the wrong person. You could also not owe the money because the contract was canceled. Maybe the person that's trying to sue you actually didn't hold up their end of the bargain, so you don't owe them any money. You have proof that the debt was paid. Maybe you actually paid the amount and they're just bad record keepers and they lost the record. Okay. Maybe you are the victim of identity theft. That one is actually really common. Another defense is the statute of limitations has expired. All right, what's the statute of limitations? We're going to get more into that right now. All right, so the statute of limitations in Ohio on debt collection on debts. All right, so let's go ahead and cover that in detail. So the statute of limitations is a statute, a law that basically limits how long somebody has before to sue you over something, in this case, over a debt. Okay, so it's just a law limiting how long somebody can sue you over a debt. So the number of years in Ohio that they have to sue you varies depending on the type of debt you have, right? So just going through each one of these. If you have an oral debt, like you just have like an oral contract, like, yeah, I'll pay you like $10. Right? If you just have an oral contract, statute of limitations on that is 6 years. Right? If you have a written debt, the statute of limitations is 8 years. A written debt, that's like a contract or like oftentimes like a loan agreement might fall into that category. So that's 8 years. Promissory debt, statute of limitations is 15 years. Promissory debt, usually that's like a mortgage. Okay? Open debt, statute of limitations is 6 years. Open debt, that's like a revolving account. Something you can take from and pay back in an open-ended way. Oftentimes this might be like an in-store credit. Okay? Credit card debt, this is what most of SoloSuit customers are coming to us for. Credit card debt, statute of limitations is again 6 years. All right, so if you're being sued for like debt with MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express, you know the drill. Statute of limitations is 6 years. Court judgments and court judgments, yeah. Statute of limitations is 21 years. Judgments have a long time. All right, you might be thinking, well, what is a judgment? What is a court judgment? Well, if you lose the case, that's a court judgment, all right? So that means if you had a credit card debt, statute of limitations is 6 years, but then if they sue you and you lose, now they have 21 years to collect from you, all right? That's bad news. That means you don't want to lose, all right? Okay, so that's statute of limitations in Ohio in a nutshell. All right, moving on, step number 3. All right, that's number 3. All right, file your answer with the court and mail a copy to the other party. All right, you might be thinking, I don't need this step. This step's easy. The hard part is just generating the answer. Affirmative defenses got that done. No, actually, the hard part is filing. All right, we find that a lot of people aren't able to file their document with the court even after getting their document created. Filing is just actually really difficult. That's just because sometimes it's just, you have to, there's a few things, right? I think, oh, it's easy to file. But no, actually, you need to know the mailing address for your court, which you probably don't know. Google's not going to tell you. They're going to tell you the physical address. If you look it up on Google, they're not going to tell you the mailing address. Sometimes it's different. Oftentimes it's different. Number 2, you need to know the filing fee. Does your court charge a filing fee for the answer? If they do, and you send it in without a filing fee, they're going to reject that answer. Thankfully, in Ohio, most courts don't charge a filing fee for an answer. That's great. And then you need to have a printer. Do you have a printer? Probably not. But maybe you do. But is it an inkjet? I mean, are those inks ready? Is that ink ready to go, or is it dry? Because in my experience, inkjet printers are always dry. All right. But maybe you have a laser printer, use it all the time, ready to go. Then you have to use snail mail to mail it into the court. All right. A lot of courts don't have e-filing. Some of them do. Some courts in Ohio actually require e-filing. A lot of them don't. So you're going to have to take that down to the post office, stick it in an envelope, mail it off. What are you going to do? You're going to do certified mail, USPS priority mail? Are you going to get the signature request back? Are you going to get the tracking numbers? I don't know. It's honestly, it's crazy. What most people do, if you're really dedicated to using USPS, most people are going to do priority mail certified with the signature request. All right, that's really just maxed out on the USPS. So basically, two things to know here for filing. You got to send one copy to the court, one copy to the opposing attorney. Okay, like I said, most courts in Ohio don't charge a filing fee. The address for the plaintiff's attorney will likely be on the summons or the complaint. Your court may require e-filing, and if you probably the easiest way to find the address for the court is actually just to look up the address, look up your court on Google, find the phone number, call the court, verify the mailing address. That's really the best way to do it. Okay, so that is how you respond to debt collection lawsuit in Ohio. Again, if this sounds difficult, if it sounds complicated, you can go over to solosuit.com. Again, you can generate your answer. You can generate your answer actually for free, and then you can pay us if you'd like to have an attorney review the document and to have us file the document for you. Again, we have over 100 5-star reviews on Google. We'd love to help you out. And that, folks, is a wrap.